They say if you give a person a fish, that's good, but it's better if you teach them how to fish. You think? Jesus said in Matthew 26:11, Mark 14:7, and John 12:8. He was telling his disciples that they would always have the poor with them because they were arguing back and forth about not for the woman wanted to give her expensive perfume and wash Jesus' feet with it. And the disciples said no, because we could sell that and feed the poor. Well, Jesus was trying to say that there'll always be poor that you can help, that you could help them out of a bad situation or whatever, but you wouldn't always have him. But when we go to helping people, and you hear it all the time, and that people aren't, like they say they can't get a job or they got to work, and they're trying to force people to work now, and we got to teach them how to fish. We got to teach them how to do this. We got to teach them how to do that. Well, they're no longer children. And that's just like you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. You can try to teach an adult how to fish, but if they don't want to, you can't. Because they've been so programmed for people helping them all their life that they don't know how to think about how to go about helping themselves. I don't know how else to explain that. It's just we're programmed. We're programmed from the time that we're little kids to go in a certain way. And there's a scripture in Proverbs, as a man thinks in his heart, that's what he'll be. So we could take somebody that has grown up poor all their life, and they've been taught to do poor this way or that way, or don't do anything at all. And to try to take that person and change their spots, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Now, if we're talking about a real dog, yeah, you can beat it and submit it into submission, but it'll be so wore down and it'll just lay down and die, because it may do it because to keep it from getting beat, but that's not a human being. A human being will, how do I want to say this? They don't know how to undo what they've learned. So for us to say, well, it's easy, just do it the way I'm doing it. Well, they can't. They grow up a certain way that people that are so used to looking to other people for help, they don't know how to start helping themselves. So you can stand and try to teach them how to fish all day long, and if they don't want to, or if they believe they can't, it's not going to happen. So we have to start being aware and being conscious of our children, and teaching children in the way that they should go. Not what the government and the school system is trying to do, we got to look at their skills and know your children and know what they're capable of, knowing what they like, and teach them from those aspects. But here's the thing. Parents are the ones that have grown up now, they don't know how to take care of themselves, let alone try to teach their children. Plus, they're so busy trying to go out there and work, especially mothers without fathers, to take care of the children, that they don't have time to sit and teach the children in the way that the children should go. And so it's like we're at a standstill. So what do? We got to start somewhere. And how do we stop having the poor? That's how we stop having the poor, is change their mindset. Because Jesus said, change your way of thinking. And my gosh, it is so hard to change adults' way of thinking. You got to get them younger, that's for sure. If they're already, by the time they're 7, they're already going to be set in certain ways. But you can change their way of thinking if you can get them young enough. But that's what Jesus was trying to say, that if you change your way of thinking, you can change your life. But here's the thing. Humanity, and a lot of humanity, is so closed-minded that they don't want to learn anything new. They want to stay with the old mindset that, well, this is just who I am. They don't think that they could do anything bigger or better than what they're doing right now. Like a lot of people right now, they were raised on the government helping them. And that's all they know. They don't know to go out and get a job or doing things that they love to do. In fact, they don't even know what they love to do. It's just like they can helter-skelter. Whatever comes in their mind, that's what they go do. And of course, I grew up kind of like that. We were very poor. Mom was on what they called welfare back then, and it was $115 a month for 5 of us. 5 kids and her, which made 6. And you can't do very much with $115. So we had to have extra help, which they didn't have food stamps back then. There was a social concerns. You could go to social concerns and they'd help you with food and different things like that, and clothing and things. The government cheese, the government cans of beef, things like that. So we grew up with very little food. But here we are. And but we didn't stay in that mindset of wanting the government's help. Now, there were times after I got married and he wouldn't work, or if he did work, he traveled us around different places, but he spent all of his money on alcohol and stuff, and there were times that with him we had help from the food stamps and stuff like that. But as time went on, I got away from that for the most part. Now, there were a few times when it was just me with the children. I had to have help from time to time, and I did. I did. But I didn't keep that mindset. I went out and got a job, the best job that I knew how to get at the time. And but there are some people that they just can't, and no matter how hard that they think they're trying, they can't get the mindset that I can do something different. I want something different. But there are people that break out of that, and they do. So can we, instead of helping the poor out, handouts and stuff like that, can we teach them to fish? Can we lead them to water and expect them to drink? Well, from what I see so far, that's very few and far between that happens. They'll take the help, but for somehow or another they can't change their stripes. They can't change their mindset and do things for themselves. I really don't understand that myself, but that is the way it is. So all of us that are sitting out here and expect a lot of these people that grew up with this gimme mindset that I gotta live, so you gotta help me. That's all they know. They don't know anything else. They don't know how to help themselves. Not in that manner. Now, they can help themselves. If, say they're an alcoholic or they're um, a panhandler or whatever. Something that's how they know to live. To go out and drink and party. That's all they know. That's or a young woman all of her life go out and get a different fellow, and of course, naturally, all they're looking for is love. But they get pregnant, they have baby after baby after baby. That's all they know. They don't know how else that their life could be different. They don't know how to think in a different mindset. So we will always have the poor with us. And I believe that with the new administration that's trying to change all the rules and stuff and the way that they help these individuals, it's not going to work unless somebody comes in there and helps them, show them how to change their mindset. Because they can't. You give them 2 years on Section 8. Who's going to go in there and show them how to want to make their life better? And want to learn to fish for themselves? Is there programs for that? You have to have that want to in you to do that. That's just like okay with me. Now, there was a time, I love to sing, but I don't see no reason to sing anymore. My reason got so that I entertained people with my voice and singing. There's no one to entertain anymore, so I don't see no purpose for it. So it's dead in my life. So people have got to have a purpose to do. And You got, whether you be the government or whatever, we got to encourage people to have a purpose, to have a vision. And okay, just like when I was little, I probably could have been a mechanic or a technician of some sort, uh, maybe being a computer analyst or something. Because you remember them old skeleton key locks, great big square things that you put on a door, and you took a skeleton key to keep it locked. I used to sit down at 2 years old and take that apart and put it back together again. Now, if somebody would have noticed that and seen that I could do those things and cared about what happened to me and how I grew up, they could have took that and helped me develop that talent in me. That's what I'm saying about your children today, folks. That if you can recognize the talent in them and help them develop that, their life would be so much more enhanced, and they'd have a desire to move forward. They'd have a purpose. We got to develop our children so that they have a purpose in life. Just not finding out a way to eat. I got to have something to eat today. And a lot of them go out and they steal something to eat because they're hungry. But nobody is teaching them how to develop a gift and a talent that they don't have to go out and steal their food. So you can't teach an old dog new tricks until you change their mindset. You have to get them to want to. And I'm not a professional in that, because I just saw, nobody had to teach me that I wanted to do a particular thing, that I just moved forward. And just like now, like me doing these videos, I'm not doing as well as I would like to do on here, and as well as a lot of people were doing as far as establishing a big audience that is listening, thousands of people watching every day and commenting and stuff, and making $2,000 or $3,000 a month, like a lot of them are. But I enjoy doing some of this. Not all of it I don't enjoy, because I don't edit my videos. There's just some things I just don't know that a lot of them already know how to do for the videos. And I have no desire to learn. I feel like this is good enough, what I'm doing right now. And if people want to learn, if they like me good enough, then they're going to come in and listen and do everything that it takes to support me. And again, I think that's what we all need to do as giving to the poor, that when we give to others, we give them to them the best of our ability, and try to hope that when we're giving to them, that somewhere in there they have the desire to do better than what they're doing in their life at just the moment that you're helping them. There's not enough avenues out there to say to somebody, well, I see you're really good at that. Did you ever think about doing this or doing that? Well, naturally, society expects you to go to school to do it, and that's the only way they'll help you. They won't take somebody under their wing and help them be a mechanic or be a computer programmer or something like that. They want to charge everybody for everything. I mean, I really don't know where I'm going with this video other than we cannot teach somebody to fish to get their own food if they don't want to. You have to give them a reason to want to. So, remember, merry heart doeth good like a medicine, but a broken spirit will dry up your bones. And that's basically what a lot of your people that live in poverty are. They've got a broken spirit. Somewhere along the line, somebody might have said to them, you'll never amount to nothing. Well, no, that thing that you want to do, that's not going to work. Or they're told all their life, you're poor, you'll always be poor, or you'll never amount to nothing, whatever. And they've got that mindset, and we have to be gracious enough to be able to take our gifts and our talents to try to at least put it out like I'm trying. I really am trying. I mean, I've been on this planet 81 years, and I know what works for me and what don't work for me. And sometimes I have to bow the knee a little bit to other people so that I can do what I'm supposed to be doing. And that's just bottom line. So I'm hoping that what I have to offer is helping somebody out there. Because for one thing, I can't go one-on-one with people out there. I can't get out and about like I would like to be able to. I'd like to be able to have a platform someplace where I could stand and openly talk to people, and or even sit down and talk to them one-on-one. Because even the comments of people come in and ask me, you can't explain everything that you need to explain to people or what you've learned, and be able to sit down and show them that in texting or commenting. It just can't be done. You really should be one-on-one with people. And but this is what I have right now. So that's what I keep saying. Use what you have to help other people out, to help yourself out. Get yourself in a position where even if you can only help one person a year, and I don't mean just with food and a place to live, and I mean with finding out what they like to do, finding out what they do best, and give them a reason a vision. Help them find a vision. Because God says his people perish because they don't have a vision. Teach people how to write down what they would like to see their life to be in 5 years, 2 years, 1 year. Use those kind of tactics. Don't stand and say, well, no, I don't think you can do that. Well, sit down with them and say, well, let's see. Let's do the pros and cons of something. What would you like to see yourself doing in 6 months? What would you like to see yourself doing in a year? And keep it positive. If they say something, I mean, I don't want to be doing this. All right, you know what you don't want to do, but what do you want to do? And you got to keep people focused on what they do want to do. And that goes for everybody out here. in YouTube land. What do you want to do? Well, I've been wanting to be an inspirational speaker for years now. And a bunch of us had this, it's called Earthwakers University. And I belong to that. I mean, I haven't been there for a long, long time, and they have moved the operation to Costa Rica. And I have a lifelong membership in that. And in our talks and stuff, I told them I wanted to be an inspirational speaker. And the leader, the overall, he's a godly man, and he loves God, and he teaches God. And he told me, looked me in the eye, he said, "You will be an inspirational speaker." So here I am. Didn't start out like that I wanted to be an inspirational speaker. It just started out that I'm telling everybody that I'm 80 and am I homeless in a camper. So here I am. Really still don't know what I'm doing. I just get inspired to say things or do things, and I sometimes get some flack, and I really get like I want to pull my hair out sometimes because people don't understand what it is that I'm trying to say. But I look back on my life, and all my life nobody understood what it was that I was saying. They called me crazy. So here we are at 81, and I still got people calling me crazy and thinking I'm crazy. But I'm doing what I wanted to do. Doing it the best that I know how. Using what I have to make a nice little home for myself that don't cost me a whole lot. I have some struggles during the wintertime here. I have some struggles walking and things like that. I have some struggles trying to figure out how to encourage everybody here and have fun at the same time. So, we have to find a way to get people to want to learn to fish. So, if you believe you can or if you believe you can't, you're right. Hugs and kisses. Love you all. You have a great day.